Hello guys, it's Paula. Sorry I wasn't able to record yesterday. We just had a super busy weekend. So I'm back today and I'm working on a custom order that has been quite the job because of the size of it. Now you're probably wondering when I say that, how big is it? You know, well, I've never made a book this big and it was quite a challenge, but I got it down. I had a sweet lady contact me wanting a particular book. And so, a particular type of book. She was wanting a book that was about a white bunny. So, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's hard to tell actually how big it is on camera, but I'm going to measure it for you and tell you how big it is. It's the original version of this book. It wasn't a reprint, so it was copyright in 1945, and I did a lot of work on the cover. I mean, there's some things that you just can't do anything for, but I sealed the cover. I took care of it. I cleaned it. I mean, it still has a few little places, but I think they're going to be just fine, and I'm going to put corners on it. And the lady told me she liked red, and it just so happened that red worked out. And here is the red and green and blue in the spine. This is 1 3/4 spine, 2 signatures. So I'm not doing a flip through right now because I'm not done. I just thought you guys could come along with me as I make one more thing for the book. And really, this just kind of occurred to me. I'll do the flip through of this later, but I just wanted you to see the book, see how big it was. I mean, like, here's my hand. So you can tell. Here's my hand. Good. So I was going to give you the size, and I just totally didn't, did I? Got distracted. Okay, it's 11 1/4 tall. 11 1/4 tall. So this is a 12-inch ruler, and you can see 11 1/4. And it is 7 3/4 wide. It's been so much fun. Now I'm going to do some tabs on the side. I haven't got near finished. I just wanted to stop so we could do a craft with me. So I'm, you know, constantly using my head to try to think of different things to do. And I had these really pretty cards. And I've got more. I mean, this is just 5 of them that came with a paper pad I had, and I just really liked them. And I thought they went along well with this little book. And it was a variety. I'm just using all kinds of colors in this book. And so I liked the way it was going to turn out. But I wanted to use these, and they're 4x4s. And I was like, I really like these, but I want them to, you know, I want to do something with them. So then I decided, well, why not just cut out some paper, right? And make them a little bit bigger. So these are 4 1/4. No, I'm sorry. 4 1/2. 4 1/2, I believe. Let me tell you for sure. And I did piece it together because I had an odd shape. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 is what each of these are. I first started out by doing 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, and it was too big. And so I just went ahead and cut another one. And I wanted to have that ready for you before we got on camera because It just took forever. So really all I did was cut a 4 1/4 strip, two 4 1/4 strips. And then I went over to my score board and scored every 4 1/4 inch. Now I did have to measure right here and get this one, kind of piece it right here. I just used a little dab of glue, and yeah. Okay, so I know you all have done an accordion book before, I'm sure, but we've not done one together. So what I want to do is I want to glue all these down first. I haven't inked the book. I figured that could be the last thing. I just want to glue them down and we can visit. And then we'll go into the book and see what we're going to do with it, because I have no idea where I'm going to put it. But, you know, like always, I just start making things, and where they end up, they end up. So let's start this off by just gluing these in quickly. And I hope you guys had a good weekend. We had a busy one. I mean, I really didn't go anywhere or do anything. I worked in here and worked on this book. And I need to get started on, I have another book in mind I want to do. And it's just a fun book. And it could be used for a college-age girl, a young woman. I mean, an older woman can even use it. But I think it is really adorable. I think it will be cute. Now, we're going to cover a book. I don't have a specific book in mind. So you just want to line this up and try not to have it too close to the edge. Otherwise, you're going to be cleaning up glue. And I actually did it on the first one, if you can believe it or not. So today is Charlie's birthday. And I don't have a picture to show you. I took some pictures of him at dinner. I told you guys that Lucy and her dad were going on this great trip out of the country. And I couldn't tell you about it because I wanted to make sure Lucy was gone before I told the news. Well, let me see how I got this going here. Well, first of all, I'll tell you that Lucy and her dad, Lucy's dad is in the ministry, and he travels to all these different countries. And so last year, he had decided at spring break, she was going to get to travel some of the places he's been. So, that's what they're doing. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, so we got to do it like this. It's so easy for me to mess up. Anyway, so they were headed out to leave yesterday. They left yesterday afternoon and got there about 6 o'clock. Their time or our time, I'm not sure. It's like 5 or 6 hours difference. It's something crazy. It's like a 25 or 26 hour trip on plane. So it's crazy. Anyway, so they headed, first of all, he had some business to take care of in Turkey. And so that's the first place they went to. Now, if you know Lucy, she's super smart and doesn't know a stranger. So I told my son-in-law, I said, please keep an eye on her. You know, the grandmother in me. And he goes, no, I'm not going to take care of her. It's what he always tells me. No, I'm not taking... All my kids tell me that about all my grandkids. No, we're not taking care of them. Why would we want to do that? Okay, so I think I should have turned this direction. These cards are, even though they're 4x4, some of them are slightly off. So, anyway, she got there, and they had to sleep when they got there because the time was so different than what it was here. And I can already tell I got one of those off. So you can see this is wider. Oh, well, what can I say? goodness. If I did something perfect, I'd fall over. Anyway, so they got there and they slept. And then when they woke up, it was, I guess, I don't know if it was daytime or what there. They had eaten, and so they were walking back to their hotel or whatever. And, you know, in different countries, people just hang out on the streets and do different things. Like there was a bunch of people and kind of in a group playing a trumpet. So Kenny's standing there. I mean, she's a few feet away, but he's got his eye on her. And he's standing there, and she's right in front of this guy who's playing this trumpet. And I guess she's trying to communicate with him because, you know, they don't speak English. But a lot of the people there do. Anyway, and Kenny blinks or turns his head for a second. When he turns back, Lucy has the trumpet, and she's playing it. And he recognized that she was playing it because he recognized what she's been practicing. She plays the trumpet, and I guess she's second chair. This is her first year to play it, and she does really pretty good because she played the piano for a long time and didn't want to keep playing that. You know how kids do. They go from one instrument to the next or whatever. But she did play the piano for probably about 4 years. And so my daughter said, Kenny looks up and there she is just playing music. And they're all just loving it, you know. And so she does not meet a stranger. She is Miss Personality. She's outgoing. And I'll be anxious to hear what all she does while she's there. Now, I guess they're only going to be in Turkey for 2 or 3 days. And then they're going to get back on a plane. She doesn't know this. They're going to get back on a plane and head... I might have told you guys this. Did I tell you guys this? I wasn't going to tell anybody because she does watch my videos. If I've already told you this story, I'm so sorry. Anyway, they're going to get on the plane and head to Egypt. Heading back toward home, I guess. Or maybe, I don't know if it's on the way or not. I couldn't tell you. But anyway, so she hasn't been to Egypt since she was 3. And my daughter and my son-in-law and her lived in Egypt for 2 years. My husband and I actually took a trip to Egypt while they were there, after they had been there 1 year, because I hadn't seen my daughter in a year, or my grandbaby, and I was going crazy. We just brought 3 big, huge crates of stuff for them. You know, we didn't go too crazy. I think Lucy got about a week's worth of clothes. PJs, undies, shoes, hair stuff. I mean, you name it. I got my daughter a new pair of shoes and some new pants and a couple tops. And I mean, we splurged on them. Anyway, and so that was fun, you know, and it's fun getting to see Lucy in her little outfits. What was really funny is when we got off the plane in Egypt, my husband and I, we come walking out and we're stopped right there, and I could see my daughter and Lucy standing there watching for us in the crowd. So when my daughter saw her, she squatted down to Lucy and pointed toward us. And Lucy really had not seen us in the age that she would get to know people, you know. So she knew what our faces looked like, but she had not remembered embracing us and so forth. And so my daughter's crying, I'm crying, Lucy's crying. So Lucy's crying all the way up to me because she's nervous at the same time, but excited too. And she gets up there and I said, how's Grammy's little girl? And of course, she immediately came over and let me. I said, your Grammy has missed you so much. And of course, my daughter and I cried and held each other forever. And so anyway, it was quite the experience getting to go over there. It's something I'll never forget. And I think everyone needs to be able to travel over there and see how different life is there compared to here in the States. It's very humbling. But anyway, of course, the pyramids are awesome. I won't get off on that, but anyhow, so Lucy doesn't know she's going to get to go back to Egypt. She's heard all about it. She's heard her parents talk about it, heard us talk about it, and she's seen pictures and stuff, but there's nothing like actually getting to see it with your own eyes. And listen, Maya, I think they would live over there again if they could see family more often. So anyway, I'm going to put this last one on here. But you see why I wanted to make this? I just thought it was, you can do this with anything, but I just thought it would look cute in the book. And I normally would work on the book when we're together, but I'm going to show you some things I did in it here in a minute. I just thought we'd finish this first. Okay, so I won't ink this now, but when I get off camera, I'm going to ink this up. But in the meantime, I'm going to flip it over. And behind each of these, I'm going to put a title for her to journal, which I think will be fun. So anyway, so that's where they're going next. They're going to stay there a couple days and see what they can see. I'm going to cut these titles. And hopefully I can get them straight. This one says notes. I always like to title little sections, kind of makes it easier for the person receiving it. Okay, so we'll just let the first one be notes. Or actually, let me see which one this is. Yeah. We'll just put it right there. We probably will put it matted a little bit before. I'm just going to get them all cut first. So she's getting to go there. They're going to take her to where he's going to take her where they lived. And she'll get to see that. And it'll be interesting to see if she actually remembers any of that. So, all right, let me get this straightened up a little bit. Okay, so then when they're through in Egypt, she's really going to freak out because they have a layover in Paris. And so, I mean, it's like a long layover, like nearly 24 hours or longer. So they get a hotel room and everything, and she doesn't know this, and she's always talked about going to see the Eiffel Tower. Kenny won't get to show her much except that in Paris, but it still is a great experience for a little girl going on spring break and going to Turkey, Egypt, and Paris. So I would have loved to have done that when I was a little girl. How about you guys? Maybe some of you are leery about going out of the country. And I'm leery about my son-in-law going out of the country. So I've been a little anxious, but he will protect her as if, as if it took everything in him to do it. So anyway, she'll be so excited and have so much to tell when she gets back. You know how you go to school and they have you write a report? I hope she gets to write about it. I don't know if they do that anymore, but we did it as kids. Now, I don't like the way this looks with the seam, so we may put paper on the back of these. Yeah, see, I have a tendency to not like certain things. What can I say? This one says memories. So, them leaving, you know, it just so happened it happened to be on Charlie's birthday week. And of course, you guys have heard me rant and rave about my Charlie boy. He's going to be, he was 6 today. So, we just think, you know, he was so happy, you guys, when we got to the restaurant. So, what my daughter's been doing is every day they've been doing something for his birthday. So, today, instead of doing a party on his birthday, he got to meet with Grammy and Papa for dinner. And we brought him his gift. And he loved his gift. And he was so happy and so excited. It was a wonderful day. You know, you guys know the history of Charlie. And what he's been through. And we're just grateful we've had him for 6 years. There was a time we didn't think we were going to. And so you can understand where this has been such a special time. Now, I don't know if these will work or not, but I have I don't know if these are wide enough. Oh, they are. I have these little stripe pages. Instead of stamping it, I think I want to, let's see. We'll put these in here. These came out of an old vintage book. I'm going to cut them, though, because I don't want to waste them. I'm going to set this old cutter right here. So I've been using my new cutter. I don't know if I told you guys about it. I'm going to cut these at 4 inches. And let's see what we end up having out of that. So is it going to be 4 inches by 4 inches? No, it's going to be a little narrow compared to that. Let me cut a couple more. I think there's only 2 here. Let me get 3 more. I don't have that many, but it's worth it. You know how you get vintage stuff and you want to hoard it. And yes, I am just like that. I have a tendency to want to hoard it. So we're going to cut this group of 3 here at 4 inches also. Now I'm trying to decide, do we cut these little holes off? I don't think so, because I think that gives it character. And we're not going to have much color on here, so we definitely want to, let's see, I'm going to put it on this first one so we can kind of cover that up. I really need to ink them, don't I? Doggone it. You know, sometimes it's just, you don't want to stop to ink. Sometimes I get lazy from inking. I was watching Rachel at Foxy Creations. If you guys haven't seen her, go over and check her out. She does a lot of collaging, and she's also a seamstress. And she has a quilt that I want to make. It's called a friendship quilt, and I am just dying to make it. But you can't get it in the States. You have to order it online, and it's Jessica Corley, I believe, and she tells you on her video. But I love to embroidery and do any kind of hand stitching, and so I really want that friendship quilt. Will I ever get it done in my lifetime? I don't know, but I want it. And I want, you know, either my daughter or son to have it. But it's like a wall hanging, and it's a quilt that's a wall hanging. So, yeah. Okay, now see, this looks better once they've been inked, don't you think? My sponge is falling apart, so my sponge sheds on everything. So Sadie got her little haircut today. And she looked adorable. No, that was yesterday. Yesterday she got her haircut. Okay, now, one more. This, I'm trying to think. I don't know if you guys know much about scrapbooking videos. Listen, before I started doing junk journal videos, I did scrapbooking videos, and I loved them. And you know, I learn a lot. Of course, I've been scrapbooking for 15 years, almost 16. But since I've been doing books, I haven't done much scrapbooking. Okay, so we're going to I'm going to glue all these down, and then we'll decide how we want to do. I hope this doesn't just like really look bad between. I don't want to put a whole lot on here, but we do need it on the edges so it stays down. I'm trying to be very careful. Okay, we'll see what happens. There's some on the edge, but anyway, so my daughter, she's taken off this week to spend the week with Charlie. You know, he's getting to hang with Mama, and we can't take him. You know, he can't go over there because if something were to happen, we don't know from day to day how, you know, how the day's going to be for him. And so, can't take chances on that until we know that he's at a point that it's safe. I don't know if the doctor will ever agree to that, but I would love for him to get to go to some of those places. I mean, how many kids could say they've put that many marks on their, stamps on their passport? You should see Kenny's. He's like on his 3rd or 4th one, I think. He has so many. We got to go to the Red Sea while we were there. And I stood there in front of the water and just imagined what it would have been like to see the Red Sea part. And it's breathtaking. There's no other way to say it. It's breathtaking. That's why I said there's so much to see in Egypt. We saw the pyramids, like I told you, and the Sphinx. We, you know, we got to, Rick and I rode a buggy with the camels pulling, but, you know, Rick actually got to go inside a pyramid. I, at the time, was having a lot of problems with my back, so I wasn't able to do that, but, because you have to get in really tiny places to do that. And, I guess there was, some tombs inside also that were actually had people in them. I just can't remember who it was, but they explained how when you sit on one of the big square pillars or rocks from the pyramids, you're blown away to know that you could put 10 people sitting on there, on one of them. That's how big they were. And back when the pyramids were built, they brought them down the Nile River. And these were all, it was all done by man. You know, it's not like they had all the big machines to lift the big heavy rocks, and it's incredibly beautiful to see the pyramids. But I will tell you, if you need to go potty, you better bring some money. And also, you'll find out when you get there that they charge more for tourists than they do for the locals. I just found that real interesting. And then when you had to go to the bathroom, I got in line. I had to get out of the line and go back and get some money for my husband because I didn't bring my purse that day. I had to pay, you know, $1, and then they stand at the door, take your money at the bathroom, and then give you like 5 squares of toilet paper. You heard me. 5 squares. I'd never make it if I had to live there. But that's just some of the little crazy things. And then we went across the street, and there was a Pizza Hut on top of this building. We sat up there and ate pizza and just looked at all the pyramids and all of that. And, oh, this is really funny. My daughter, you know, she was young then. She was still young. I mean, she was 30, I guess, or, well, she got married at 26, so they'd been married 3 years, I guess, at this time. Anyway, there was 2 cute little guys there that come running down beside me and my daughter. And the 2 guys looked at me and said, my daughter's standing next to me, it's just the 2 of us. And they said, we give you 2 donkeys and 1 pig for your daughter. I was like, no, you won't. And I said, ha, 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 ha. I just laughed at them and I said, that's not happening. She's not for sale. It's just kind of weird to think, you know, what is okay to them, you know. It's like, nope, not going to do that. Anyway, she was like, I said, oh, you can use that with Kenny. You can tell him you can just go down on the street if he wants some horses and cattle and pigs and goats. And it was just funny. Anyway, so that was a lot of fun that day. And then we did, on another day, we stayed at a super, super nice hotel, even though it was in the same city, so we could just enjoy the Nile River. And the hotel set on the Nile River. And think about, you know, little Moses. And it's, you know, we went out on that trip and got on the next day after we stayed at the hotel and ate at a really nice restaurant there. Because I didn't like any of the food. I'll just tell you that right now. My son-in-law loves all that food they have in those different countries. But not me. I don't try new stuff. But that's why we were at Pizza Hut. Because I needed something that was like American food. You don't find a lot there, but anyway, so we got to get on a little old rickety boat, and we had a little captain that he was dressed very Egyptian, and we had a little captain that didn't have hardly any teeth, maybe 2 teeth in his whole head. He took us down the Nile River, and there's lots. It was so fun to get to do something, you know, that was from the Bible days. And then we went to the Red Sea. We got a guy with a van, and he drove us. It was about 2 or 3 hours to the Red Sea. And we went over to the Red Sea and stayed in a little resort area. It looked just like going to any resort. It was for that area. I mean, the hotels weren't over the top, but they were nicer than anything in the town. So we stayed there and we took pictures, and we spent the day, 2 days at the beach, and then we went back to their little house. Okay, now we've got this all down, and I'm trying to decide. Let's go ahead and put the names down so we know we've got them where we want them, and we can match colors and so forth. Although I'll tell you, most of these are white, but this one particular one is blue, so let's put it in the middle. I want you to see what my glue is doing. Look at that. Can you see that? It's just leaking all over the place. It's making me crazy. Making me crazy. Ugh. Okay, come off of there. Yikes. Okay, so now we're going to put these little things down. Like this one says, love this. I kind of put little titles where they can journal about whatever the title is. Like this says, love this. So it could be anything that she wants to put on here. And I'm going to put it on the very top line. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do with, I'm going to get some pins out that have color in them. We'll do gold and we'll do silver if I can, and red. I think there's still one I don't have. Let's see, no, we got red. This is black, so I really want the silver, but maybe I ran out of silver. Nope, there it is. Okay, so on the others, we will go around them and say, we can do whatever we want to kind of make them stand out. And just doodle around them if we want to. Okay. And this is a remember. So, she can put memories that she wants to remember. And here's one that says memories. I have a tendency to use memories and journal and notes the most if I'm typing with my typewriter or whatever, but these were pre-printed, so that worked out good. Put memories right there. And we'll put journal at the beginning. And notes at the end. I hope she has fun with this. Okay. Whoops. Okay, one more. Now I want to add a little bit of color to this side because, you know, it is pretty boring. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get, let's get gold first. Can you guys see? Okay. We'll do gold around this one. Now I'm just outlining, you know, where these go. Listen, my desk today is a disaster. Of course, my gold, I keep putting that in my cart and keep forgetting to get it. So my gold is not working, so we'll go to my red. How's that? We'll mix the red and the gold a little bit. And I'm not going to make them super neat. I want it to look messy. You know how I do. Because then you can, it stands out better if it's messy. Okay. Now we'll do blue over here. I love this blue color. I don't know. I have never looked to see what it is, but I love it. Let me see. Metallic, medium gel, Pentel, sunburst. But it still doesn't tell you the color. Nope, no color. I think I did try to order this one and Couldn't find a color for it. Okay, I'm going to throw this gold one away because it is dry as it is dry. Okay, so let's do silver. Let's do silver down here. And it's about gone too, guys. Maybe I can at least get around it. I'll be real messy so we can see a little bit of it. It's barely there, so I'm hanging on to it. Let me see what else I've got. We've done red. I guess we could do this black. It's the only other gel-like pen I have over here. I have all kinds of gel pens. I got a big container of them at Christmas. But what can I say? Okay. All right, so this is the side that she can journal on. I will ink all of this. So it will go, let's see, goes like this. See, and every side has its own thing. So what I want to do, I don't want to bulk it up too bad, but I do want to put a little flower on each of these. Now, I have a bunch of these little flowers. I just want to give it some color because it is kind of boring. And it doesn't have to match, it doesn't have to match what the ink matches. So you know what? I think I'm going to do 2 of each little flower. Got purple there. Here's some pink. Come on, pink. Got some blue. Got some red. Come out of there, red. They only sell certain colors in these little flowers, but I always get them because I love them. Okay, I do have a little white one with a little pink spot in the middle, or center. Little spot, little center. Let's see, let me move these out of the way, and then we'll get all of these put up. Okay, so let's just start with the white in the middle. So we're just going to do a little daub of glue in the center. And we've got this little box up here. Whoa, let's just put them in that little box. There we go. Cute. And take the little red ones, put them over here at the beginning, or maybe we'll put them down here. I want to separate from what ink we have on here. I don't want the ink to match the whatever, if you know what I mean. Okay, here's blue. So we'll put it on the end. Can you guys see the end here? Okay. All right. I don't know why we've never done this. I should have done this with you guys a long time ago. There's lots of different ways we can do it. So we'll have to do some more. I'm sure you guys have done it. And the little pink ones. Okay. I am covered in sticky glue. I don't think my hands ever look like they need to look. Okay, let me get a wipey and clean my hands off. Oh my word, I feel so sticky. Anyway, Charlie's really happy about his birthday today, and so he did birthday today with Grammy and Pawpaw, and he went to another friend's birthday today. And it, you know, it's a little girl. It's his little, his little girlfriend. It's what he calls it. The little girl. He doesn't have a little girlfriend, but he thinks he does. Okay, I'm closing up the glue. Putting the lid on the ink. Now, we surely can close this by now. And so we have this cute little book. And I think what I'm going to do is make a pocket to just slip it in. And I still need to do a flip. I'm looking to see if I have the right little thing to make a pocket out of. I don't know. I'll have to find one. I'll find something to make a pocket out of. Okay, so I'm going to pull the book out so we can kind of see what's going on. I'm moving this out of the way, making sure there's nothing that will get on my book, because I've worked really hard on this book. It's been completely different than anything I've ever done. So, and I'm pleased with how it's turning out. And this is fuzzy. You remember those old books where they'd be where you can touch them and they're fuzzy? So I'm going to open it up and look at this. Look at this. I kept this one, and you can see on here that this one has been, I put medium gel on here. And I will tell you, I wasn't thrilled with the way that felt after it dried. It still had a stickiness to it. And I did it on the outside and on the back and the inside cover on the back. And I didn't like it. So this is how it looked initially. But I'm not going to add anything to this because I don't want to do that. But I did this to restore the book. And erased anything in it I could. I couldn't get this erased. But, you know, that just gives it character. It was a Christmas gift. And I'm not putting anything on the inside and outside cover. Now, she told me she liked red. Was one of her favorite colors. So I tried to do some red. But look at this little silhouette of this little bunny right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's how old it is. Okay, so you can notice that these pages are huge. So I had to use, you know, I had to fold them. Let me show you what I did. Let me get over to the other side. I had to fold them, see right here? And then I had to stitch them to some coffee stain paper to make a page that could be stitched into the book. And she also told me she knew I had a lot of bunny stamps, so I stamped, you know, real often with different bunnies. And all these bunnies are fuzzy on here. It's called The White Bunny and His Magic Nose. I have not read the story. Haven't had a chance. But anyway, I wasn't going to show you the book right now, but I'm just showing you a few little things that I did as far as paper. And so I just stitched, every paper in here has coffee stain paper stitched to it. So, yeah, it was quite interesting. I had some giant music sheets, so that worked out. And some giant tea stain papers that, you know, would work. And I, anything I wanted to stitch, and some of my beloved ledger, you know, I don't share with just anybody. It's getting really low. This is the smallest sheet in the book. And I put it here because it's the tale of tales, talking about different little animals like a raccoon, posset. A rabbit has no tail at all. It's talking about the tails of different animals. Okay, so I think she'll be pleased. If she's watching, I hope you're pleased whenever you get it in the mail. You're going to have so much journaling space, you're not even going to believe it. So, yeah, this is a special book. All right, so I just wanted to show you, you know, how I did the pages. And then I found another little story in another book, another vintage book that says, I'm a bunny. I'm a bunny. My name is Nicholas. I live in a hollow tree. It's just like a 5-page story, but I went ahead and added it in here too. And look at this paper. How cool is this paper? It's just different woodland animals. And so I was able to get the whole story of that little guy in there too. And I decoupaged some things, and yeah. Now, and then I got over here and I did one of my tag pockets, tag in a pocket. And I always put those on the end, and I did a red, I did her the red one because she likes red. But yeah, I did a lot in here. It might not seem like it, but like, look at this pocket, how cute it turned out. It's a giant journaling card that I added hinges to in the back to give it lots of depth. And then it has this little bunny card. And this is from 1934. The music sheets and the world of music was from 1934. I tried to add some vintage stuff. This is a children's dictionary. And at some point, it does have rabbit right here. And there's the little rabbits. So when I do a book, I try to really think of what it is that is interesting to the client. So, yeah. And I'll do a flip through, slow down and show you more detail. But, yeah. So, I don't know where this is going to go in this book. That I have to come up with an idea for. I am going to put tabs on here, but if you notice, I've got these 3 little tabs because I did the little envelopes, and I put today, fun, and smile. And then up here, you have a ribbon from this tag sticking out at the top. And then here I added some ruffle. And this was not the type of book to put lace in. You know, there are books that are perfect for that, and there are books that are not perfect for that. So what I'm going to do is I might even use fabric somewhere. This is turned sideways, so I'll have to get some more if I have any more. That's the question. If I don't, I'll find something and maybe put this. I'm not going to do it right now because, first of all, I'd have to find a spot that would be perfect. Like this would even work right here. But, and you know, if we wanted to, we could have put it right there, but I actually did that there. But I'm thinking a pocket. We could do, where'd the fabric go? Now, this fabric isn't the piece I would use, but we could put a fabric on here, a fabric pocket all the way across, or a lace pocket. Maybe not so high, and then slide this down into it. So, yeah, it'd have to be much bigger. So, I've got a paper clip that I laid out for this. Good question where it's at least for now, to clip it. Now, if we have to end up attaching this to the book, we will. But right now, we just have it clipped. So, I hope you guys had fun with this. Let me see how many minutes we are. Yeah, we're right at, it's about to turn over to 1 hour. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed a peek at this book. And after this, we're going to be doing kind of like an Uptown Girl kind of book. I have a paper pad that I've been wanting to do something like that for some time now. And then I'll probably start on some botanical type books like birds or butterflies. I have a sewing 3-ring binder. I have a cookbook that's 3-ring binder, which I thought would be fun. And so yeah, I've got a lot of things planned. I've got that really cool bird book. Since then, I have found a book also, which I think I'm going to wait till winter, but it is a book that has 24 karat gold on the front. So it has, instead of it looking it is embossed, but it also has, it is etched in the 24 karat gold. So, and also I didn't show you this, but this little bunny right here, this little bunny, the white bunny and his magic nose, came off the cover of this book, and it was inside the book. So I just made a little sack and put that on the front so she wouldn't lose it, and she could have it in her book. So, all right, guys. Well, I am going to get off here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you could. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And I want to let you know that I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and welcome to all you new subbies. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.